Despite its name, the doll room in the historic Jefferson Hotel is a sinister place, and this video shared by the hotel's YouTube channel confirms this. Listen closely.
And some more dolls to our doll room. That particular doll is over 100 years old.
As you can see, the manager hears a noise down the hallway, and as soon as he turns to look, one of the dolls falls down in the room. Listen again. He enters to see what happens.
Another little video tour that I do when we add some more items to the rooms or whatever. So we added some more dolls to this room, which is our dolls and stuff room. And as I walked in the room, I heard a noise going down the hall right there.
He replaces the doll. But it doesn't get any less creepy. To me, it looks like it's watching him. This video will definitely make you want to double check all of your wiring in your home. Eric McGregor takes one look at this discolored brown outlet and identifies a major problem.
It's catching on fire.
Amber sparks shoot out of the middle of a frayed wire that is still hot and fully charged. It looks like the wall is going to catch on fire at any moment, especially here 23 seconds into the video. Eric calmly unscrews the outlet and plucks it free from the wall, which in turn trips the breaker and turns off all the power. I don't know if this is the safest solution, so you definitely shouldn't consider this video to be a tutorial of any kind, but his strategy does seem to work in this specific instance. Sometimes these kind of faulty wires can go undetected for months or even years. All it takes in the meantime is one random spark, especially late at night, to change everything forever. Alex Griffin runs a sports channel nowadays, but years ago he was briefly into conducting paranormal investigations at the most haunted places he could find. One such foray was the exploration of Borley Church, a place where organs are said to play by themselves and chanting can be heard from inside. There's also the ghost of Katie Borham, a housemaid who was said to have lost her life under mysterious circumstances that could have involved unknowingly ingesting toxic chemicals. Katie is the ghost they are hunting tonight, and so Alex Griffin and his friends logically start exploring the old haunted cemetery for paranormal evidence. They make the mistake of disrespecting her name along the way, and start hearing some scary noises soon after.
Just shut up, Katie. Katie. What the What the
The amateur investigators run away at first, but soon agree that they can't leave the mystery unsolved and need to find more paranormal evidence. They return to the cemetery and the bravest of them steps forward to taunt Katie into showing herself.
Say, what happened again?
So I didn't see anything, but he senses a ghost and I tend to believe him. After all, he was the one trying to impress his friends the hardest, so I don't think he'd run away like that and risk embarrassing himself unless he was really scared. The paranormal investigators step forward as one, and a single light glows in the woods even when their camera is not shining on it. It's not exactly the best paranormal evidence ever recorded, but the timing is definitely odd and makes you wonder what this light could be. And with their backs turned, the noise returns.
And your house. Yeah. Your slaves tonight, mate.
It sounds like one of them would have thrown a rock or something and hits the top of the tin roof. But then again, this is exactly the kind of paranormal activity that this place is known for. It's years later and not one of them stepped forward to take credit for throwing a rock and scaring the group, so maybe this supposed paranormal activity is real after all. Catholics honor the departed on November 2nd with All Souls Day, praying for the souls of their departed family and friends, often with visits to the graveyard. But what happens when the soul hasn't crossed over? Published by Own Vlogs, these paranormal investigators visited a haunted graveyard in order to answer that question. As the crew wanders around the cemetery's open graves, they suddenly see this vague pale figure in the distance. After glancing over several times at the figure, the men get too scared by its stillness and start running off.
कुछ चीज है तो वो हावी होने की कोशिश कर रही है, पर ये क्या खड़े हो गए निकलो यहाँ से स्पीड से थोड़ा सा
पीछे क्या है?
Gathering some courage, they turn and look back. The figure is still there. They run off again and straight out of the cemetery. Was this a soul that hadn't yet crossed over? Or just a graveyard statue? In any event, this is one scary video that went horribly wrong.
रास्ते में खड़ी है ये जो भी है रास्ते में यार अरे भाई इधर से निकल भाई
इस
This CCTV video captures a large figure lurking beneath a bush on an empty street. It's hard to tell what it is at first, until the camera zooms in for a better look. Some kind of humanoid is low to the ground, as if waiting to grab someone. Anyone who walks by. It looks like it could be a person, until it dips its head from the shadows at 1 minute and 58 seconds, to reveal an upsettingly long face with large, gnashing jaws. The way it repeatedly moves side to side looks like it's probably just a looping animated sequence, but what's your take? A YouTuber named Nosy is poking around an old abandoned home that is in rough shape. The place is crumbling on all sides and covered in debris. Some sections look like they could collapse at any minute, so he doesn't go too far inside. It's the middle of the day though, with plenty of natural light. So Nosy creeps around the outskirts and even dares to check out a few rooms for a better look. He's having a look through one of the more secure looking rooms on the bottom floor when apparently something notices his presence and starts rushing his way. Nosy wisely retreats out to the nearest exit and cuts his adventuring short for the day. The upstairs was not safe for him to explore, so it's doubtful that someone would live up there, though still possible I suppose. Either way, the footsteps were clearly human and not from an animal, and Nosy was clearly all by himself throughout this video. Therefore, the only other explanation I can come up with, besides a homeless person, is an actual ghost. Whatever it is, Nosy says that he will go back to the house and solve the mystery once and for all. So be sure to check on his channel to see if he ever does. I hope he stays safe and I wish him the best of luck. YouTuber Near Shadows has a stalker. After being led here by Randonautica, this is what they capture on camera.
That's it.
What the heck?
Oh my, please, please.
Go.
Please.
Go.
Please.
What the was that?
Is that a demon, a banshee, or is it human? It doesn't sound human to me. My money's on this being a banshee. When two strangers pull up to your boat on the Nile, you have to assume the worst. This area is known for pirates. They cast a line and tie themselves to the ship in preparation to board.
oh dear lord
The one in white reaches down and then back turned, stands up while holding something.
alright guys, look for art. Does anyone see an Ouija in there?
He reaches back into his pocket and pulls out nothing but towels. As it turns out, this area is full of traveling salesmen too, even at sea. Still, I think they probably should have ran for help as soon as they thought these could be pirates, instead of recording in plain sight and making themselves an easy target. Time to brush your teeth. Published to YouTube by Talal Essa in April of 2017. You'll probably be triple checking your tap before you do that after watching this video. Asking why does black water come out of the tap? Talal demonstrates this unsettling happening, letting his tap run with inky, brackish, blackish brown water emitting from the faucet. The color does not dilute at all in the entire minute that he leaves it running. Is this toxic water? Probably not. Many in the comments offer suggestions for what's likely going on, with YouTuber Jack Jawman suggesting the color is likely due to heavy metal buildup, he says. Mick Bradford and Rumble Lane went another way though. Bradford asks, do you have a well and live next to a cemetery? While Rumble Lane simply states, there's a demon in your faucet. Certainly looks like it. A suspicious-looking man is all eyes as he creeps up to a luxury hotel room in India. At 22 seconds, the intruder looks into the window and contemplates doing something terrible to whoever's inside. His hand goes up to his mouth like he's uncertain. Maybe he is having a change of heart, but more realistically, he's probably noticing how many cameras there are in this hotel and finding someplace else. Even though he doesn't follow through, this is probably one of the creepiest looking disguises I've seen someone wear. I can only imagine how terrified hotel workers were when whoever was inside complained and they checked the cameras only to see floating eyes. Hopefully he never comes back. The last place you want to hear screaming is in a cemetery in the darkness of night. That's what YouTuber Thrills heard when he was visiting Fox Island Cemetery, which is said to be haunted by a man in black. As they first enter the cemetery, they hear an unexplained hissing noise.
I will say the other camera is a lot easier to hold.
What the heck is that?
It's not, yeah, not, I heard that too.
And soon the screaming starts.
Did you hear it again?
Yeah, I just heard it.
After moving along, they hear the screaming a second time.
It's this way too.
I definitely just heard something, yeah.
And then a third directly after.
I definitely just heard something, yeah.
While this might be a wild animal or someone just hollering for the fun of it, it could also be the legendary man in black. I think he might just be toying with them. If you've lost a loved one, you might sometimes feel that their spirit is still with you. And if you're anything like TikToker E to the R to the ICA, you might find video proof that this is actually true. Erica R 1971 posted this ghostly video to the site writing, "So my security picked this up tonight. My dad passed on November 26, and I wonder if it's him." The footage shows a ghostly figure pass by, floating casually past the security camera. The figure is white and vapor-like, appearing across the scene from right to left. If Erica is right, and this is in fact her father's spirit, what is he trying to tell her? Does he just want to comfort her by making his presence known? It does not look like CGI to me, so I think this video is 100% real. In Erica's place, would you feel comforted by a ghost? Amateur footage was shot somewhere in an underground sewage system. The cameraman is presumably a maintenance worker who is wearing a chest cam. Little did he expect to find a humanoid down there with him. The video begins with the cameraman seemingly frozen in place. The camera is very still, as if the maintenance worker is too afraid to move. Maybe he heard a noise and is waiting for a creature to reveal itself. Suddenly, a pair of floating eyes peer at him from the distance. The eyes appear to belong to some sort of nocturnal predator. They reflect so much light that all you can see are two gigantic white dots that are roughly as wide around as flashlights. The humanoid does not appear to have much experience with humans and seems apprehensive as it peers around the corner. It decides to run away and the cheap camera cuts out before we can see any more of the chase. The creature seems incredibly fast and probably got away, but exactly what happened next is anyone's guess. The video footage survived, so the cameraman probably did as well. Then again, maybe they recovered it from his dead body instead. There's just not enough information out there to say for sure. Will you expect to find some creepy stuff in an abandoned funeral home? Abandoned remains are probably not among the usual suspects. Published to YouTube by RNK All Day in March of 2020, the channel writes, "We found ashes inside an abandoned funeral home that was condemned due to the funeral director leaving and hiding bodies. It was located in North Carolina. It was closed down in 2012 after client complaints. The funeral home's former owner was put behind bars for not burying the individuals." RNK All Day explores this home and its unnerving history. Amongst the creepy things found inside are Polaroids of the passed on individuals and a squatter's bed made up inside the building. But of course, the most unsettling thing they encountered was a bag of ashes in a torn cardboard box. According to a timestamp on the box, they were from 1995, meaning they've remained there for over 2 decades. Let's hope they finally received a proper burial. An entity known as Zepalintra appears to the YouTube team Kai Investiga Cazadores Gilendas on this road of entities, and it happens when they least expect it.
Bom.
Mano, ali, ó.
É ele, cara, é ele.
Né? Apareceu ali, ó. Caramba, velho. Ele apareceu pra gente, mano.
The figure in black stands still as a statue by their vehicle along the road. It raises a hand and then seemingly disappears.
2 vezes o carro.
É, ele falou carro. Ah, mano, ele sumiu, velho.
Mano, sumiu do nada, cara.
E ele falou que... Caramba, velho. E ele falou que ela...
While the cut in the video seems suspect, I can't say for sure if this was staged. But if not, he seems to be gesturing at them to follow, and if I were in their shoes, I'd be wary. The Odyssey Paranormal Society is a Minnesota-based group of ghost hunters who become close after a number of bizarre and scary shared experiences like this one in May of 2015. While conducting a paranormal investigation at a haunted house, a ghost hunter named Sean makes a request for any spirit to make their presence known.
Wherever you can do, wherever you can manifest your energy with. Jesus.
2 orbs float overhead, followed by a loud noise that makes Sean jump. The next month, they get more paranormal evidence that the house is haunted. This time in the basement, when a hideous ghost face appears on a night vision camera in the window at 2 a.m. There's also some kind of light anomaly at the very beginning of this video that could be an apparition. Light shouldn't be reflecting off of anything in a dark basement, so this is bizarre. And 5 years later, the Odyssey Paranormal Society continues to make ghost hunting videos that are beyond creepy. They are exploring the 2nd floor of an abandoned home when they stop for a moment to try and communicate with the other side.
Could you make a noise? Like... That was okay.
It doesn't sound like an animal, and it doesn't sound like passing traffic. This is the voice of a ghostly woman screaming her answer to their question from far away. Do you hear that haunting melody? It may be the vocalizations of an actual ghost. Posted by Charger3933 to the Ghosts subreddit. This clip captures a ghostly song in the abandoned Asylum, Eloise Psychiatric Hospital in Michigan, which we've discussed at length in previous top 15s. Charger notes in the comments that he did not hear the singing during the visit, only afterwards when he listened back to the recording. The Redditor was wandering around the abandoned asylum with a friend when he heard disembodied footsteps coming up the stairs. As he tried to capture the footsteps via a Snapchat video, he heard screaming from a distance. He saved the video and later heard the haunting singing as well. Redditor Wubba-Lubba-Dubbity-Doo in the comments writes, "Obviously we have to take the audio with a grain of salt because it's possible someone was hidden in the building. That being said, I hear the screams and sleep freaky AF." The same Redditor later notes in the thread that the uploader basically caught an EVP. He also remarks that he too hears the footsteps or something moving nearby. The uploader states that he tried to stay as still as possible, and that he would also consider this an EVP, as he did not hear the singing in real time. Redditor quite fast agrees that the singing sounds like a lullaby. The Redditor tried to isolate the woman's voice, and added a clearer clip to the thread. The humming voice sounds even spookier with the audio cleared up, and as quite fast notes, you can almost hear the words safe and sound. Do you feel safe and sound after watching this video? Two workout partners are busy burning calories in an unfinished basement gym when they suddenly realize a third spotter is watching over them.
3, 4. Jay, get down. Just get down, get down, get down.
The woman doesn't seem to notice at first, as a piece of gym equipment on a chain slowly starts to rise on its own. It twists a little and then quickly rises high into the air. Notice how it drops when she runs away. I personally am not sure if this clip is real. I can see that there is a space between the drywall and ceiling, so someone could be on the other side of the wall pulling a string tied to a chain. If this is real, one thing I don't understand is why he would stop filming such a strange phenomenon as soon as it starts to happen. Then again, maybe panic took over and they ran away, or maybe he kept recording for a while and the gym equipment never moved again. A YouTuber named Daz Games takes a Ouija board to a 300-year-old mansion to record whatever paranormal activity he can find. His girlfriend is on the lower floor when Daz Games feels watched and this happens.
Is there anybody in here?
This sounds like a creepy noise that any old house would make, but the perfect timing means it almost has to be completely paranormal or completely made up. Then, while explaining what he heard, Daz Games records this.
That was a definite.
This sound is much louder, more deliberate, and even harder to shrug off. It's as if the house is letting him know that yes, his suspicions are in fact correct, and something is in here with him. And immediately after this noise, you can see a ripple trace along his cheek, like someone is affectionately brushing a finger across his face. As a final test, they put chapstick on the Ouija board and challenge the ghost to make it move. I think I see Daz's girlfriend move the board though. Watch your fingers twitch at 15 minutes and 19 seconds.
Can you move it for us? Oh. Oh.
No.
You're not even lifting it.
No.
Whether she did that on purpose or because of nerves is up to you to decide, but I don't think the ghost moved the chapstick. The other scenes, however, especially the finger across Daz's face, look real to me. This Saudi Arabian YouTuber decided to do some urban exploring in 2018. The property looks long abandoned, and they are forced to explore only by flashlight. Despite the creepy feel of the place from the very start, the men brave it out and continue exploring. It starts to appear as though the men are being watched, and on multiple occasions they check their surroundings to make sure they are all alone. It turns out their instincts are correct, as they capture what they claim is a witch. It definitely appears to be someone dressed in all black robes, with their face fully covered. I believe someone might have actually been living on the property and they wanted to scare them away. Or do you think the YouTuber was correct and this was an actual witch? What are the jinns trying to hide? YouTube team Paranormal Mai confronts the lie of the jinn in this scary video. After walking through this empty bare home, he returns to this room where he finds a strange setup.
Bismillah. Allahu Ekber.
Did a jinn just enter this home? If so, where is it? I wouldn't look over your shoulder if I were you.
Karşımda duruyorsan Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
This creature in the sky is unidentifiable, but it's got 6 legs. We originally came across this video on the Spanish-speaking Scary Video community in June of 2019. The thing appears to have a pinhead, multiple crab-like legs, and finally wings. As you can see when it takes off from the tree branch it's crouched upon. The creature looks extraterrestrial. It's certainly something nobody has seen on Earth. Whatever it is, you don't want this monster hiding under your bed. We managed to track down the original source, and this turns out to be a CGI creature made by the Nicaraguan YouTube team, JJPD Producciones. So if you come across this video because it's spreading all over the internet, now you know its true origins. Joe Morley goes exploring a cave in Tennessee that I don't think you're brave enough to watch, especially if you have a fear of tight spaces. He has to lower himself on a rope because the entrance goes straight down. One mistake and he's going to see the bottom a lot faster than he wants. The whole time he has to find his footing on a slippery cave wall in near total darkness. Soon he can't even see the top of his rope a few feet above. Help is far away down here. Joe's thankful when his feet find solid ground much later. Ahead is a narrow tunnel that he wants to go exploring. It only gets tighter, but there's no way to turn around. At times, there's barely enough room to get an arm in front to crawl sideways. Dropping through small cracks presents another problem. One false move and they could twist an ankle without any way to climb out. Joe is an experienced caver, and I guess the cave is sturdy, but this video still freaks me out. The entire time you feel like they are either going to get stuck or caved in. I don't know where in Tennessee this is, but I feel like coming back here a second time would be pushing their luck. Don't take your chances with this haunted place. It's home to a demon. YouTube team Toppy do take the risk, and they soon hear voices not far off.
Я тоже слышу.
They think these voices are coming from outside. But this paranormal activity makes me think otherwise. A Steadicam captures this in an empty room. I even hear some taps after the door opens, but it's what happens later that really convinces me.
Что?
Слышь, его.
They hear footsteps in the snow, and then this happens.
Скажи, как тебя зовут? Ты можешь дать какой-нибудь знак?
Твою мать!
Something is heard right behind them, but they're on the second floor.
Давай, да. Я что-то никого не видел.
Even after falling out of his chair, he asks for another sign.
Еще раз знак дай. Да, только что было.
Something is knocking on the window, and I must reiterate, they're on the second floor, so who could it be? Like I said, I'm more than convinced that this place is haunted, and if they aren't careful, the demon will soon be coming for them. There's a demon in the cellar in this video from Dark Ghost Paranormal. As Dennis is peering into a stone storage cellar, he first hears its moan. Back in the house, some terrifying sounds start to reverberate through his radio. And then Dennis is confronted by something unseen. After that terrifying instance, this happens. Then whole pieces of furniture start to move. And it doesn't stop there. After Dennis tries to get out of there, he goes to pick up something off the ground. That's when all heck breaks loose. Later, Dennis leaves an infrared camera inside the house and heads outside. This is what he captures. Then this happens. You can literally see the demon on camera moving the crib and then breaking the wardrobe doors. What is this evil? All I know is, it's not something I'd want to encounter face to face. Images sometimes crop up on Google Maps Street View that are incredibly suspect. This Google capture is a bit more supernatural. Published to YouTube by The Hidden Underbelly 2.0 in August of 2018. This image was captured at Martha Chapel Cemetery in Huntsville, Texas. As one of the country's oldest cemeteries, Martha Chapel was built in the early 19th century. According to travel guide expert Dana Goolsby, the road leading to the cemetery is nicknamed Demon's Road. It earned this nickname from alleged encounters with the spirits that haunt the area. According to Goolsby, visitors to the cemetery sometimes find large handprints on their vehicles. Is something supernatural making its mark? According to the Houston Chronicle, the Google Maps Street View image was uploaded to YouTube in August of 2018, where it started trending. The image shows headstones near a fence line, surrounded by trees. Behind one of these trees hides a ghostly little girl. The grayish tint of her skin gives her a phantom glow as she peers around the corner of the tree. But wait, that's not the only haunting figure in view. Behind the fence line, walking amongst tall tombstones, is a dark cloaked figure. The phantom being definitely looks out of place. Maybe the cloaked figure is seeking this girl. We hope it doesn't find her. A Ring camera caught yet another attempted intruder in the act. Actually, this time too. Published to YouTube in a Ring cam video by Full Moon Crazies in July of 2019. The surveillance camera was placed behind a lamp and captures a pair of thieves going into a home during the Christmas season. The thieves are partially hiding their faces with their hoodies, and they seem to spy the Ring camera right away, as they look directly at it. After gathering some backpacks, likely filled with the taken goods, one of the intruders can be seen knocking the camera down to avoid its capturing further incriminating footage, but he didn't totally succeed. Two more intruders are caught on camera entering the room from the hallway. The clip ends without further explanation. These intruders more than likely made off like bandits, but we can only hope this video evidence was enough to catch them. Either way, this cost them Christmas, as they were sure to end up on Santa's naughty list. A woman with an octopus on her face tries to laugh it off, despite her extreme fear. What does she say here? It's mercifully hanging out of her mouth for now, but if it moves in any further, then it would be reaching down her throat. She is one wrong move away from having her oxygen cut off, its tentacles squirm around her eyes and across her tongue as she screams and pulls the creature free with one last burst of strength. The octopus itself looks like it came straight out of the ocean. I can only imagine how disgusting the lingering aftertaste must have been. You don't need to see a broom to know this figure is a witch. TikToker The Void 402 shares footage of a levitating witch in the middle of a deserted place. There isn't any information with this video, so I'm not sure where this was captured or by whom, but the closer the vehicle gets to the figure, the harder it is to deny that it's a witch. I'd be driving fast and far away before they end up cursed. A ghost hunting channel in Portugal called Supernatural Persecution is attempting to solve an unexplained mystery that's been haunting locals for years. According to legend, this haunted place in the dark creepy woods is where a bride-to-be once threw herself onto train tracks after discovering her fiancé was unfaithful. Ghost sightings have occurred ever since, and few dare to explore here because so much has already gone wrong. While walking down the long forgotten path, flanked by scary woods on both sides, they think they hear something.
Leonardo, tá vendo alguma coisa? Ai. Leonardo, tá vendo alguma coisa? Oi.
Scary voices and other weird noises from within the haunted woods. The ghost bride is near, as the ghost hunters squint into the darkness.
Leonardo do céu! Olha o vulto branco lá, ó! Passando atrás de você, cara!
A mysterious figure, an apparition, crosses their path and leaves them absolutely terrified. The possible sighting of a ghost wearing a white bridal gown, well creepy, could also be someone in black clothes holding a white sheet over their head to create the illusion of a long flowing headdress. It's too far away to tell for sure. Likewise, this alleged ghost voice sounds more like one of their friends, rather than something supernatural wailing in anguish. But even though I'm not fully convinced, this paranormal evidence has thousands convinced that it's real, so maybe I'm wrong. It's said that on this battlefield, the ghosts of soldiers still roam. Published by Dark 3 in July of 2019, a man is exploring a region where hostilities took many lives. The tree-heavy area features a couple of towers and a brick wall dividing them. Despite the rather average-looking landscape, the cameraman says strange things are often observed here. After zooming in on the tower, the camera scans the tower from the top to the ground, which is covered by brush and trees. It is behind one of these trees that he captures a glimpse of a strange creature. It's hard to tell what this is. It looks hauntingly like an unearthly figure crouched down almost out of view. Its coloring does not blend with its surroundings, making me think there's a good chance this could be CGI, and that appears this is the case. So I guess that explains what this thing is doing here, because it certainly doesn't look of this world. There's something inherently creepy about this abandoned building, but just wait until it breathes. YouTube channel Scary Punch shares this video whose original source is YouTuber Dark Ghost Paranormal. At first, nothing appears off.
Я в этой комнате. Дай мне знак, если я в этой комнате.
But then this happens.
Дай мне знак, если надо где-то еще искать.
It looks like the room took a great breath in, drawing all the furniture to the center. Watch again. What just happened? I think a poltergeist is to blame, and this is one of the most powerful that I've ever seen. Would you invite yourself into a demon's home? Published by Toppy in December of 2021. That's what this ghost hunter did, and he would live to regret it. He quickly realizes he is not alone. After hearing faint footsteps on the floor above, he sets up his camera in the darkness. That's when this happens. Later, he is trying to communicate with the poltergeist, and he receives an answer.
Это ты всех мучил здесь.
Will he heed the spirit's warning? No, he will not, and the demon doesn't like it.
Твою мать.
Would you stay a minute longer inside this haunted place? A minute seems too long to me. This apartment has a rogue poltergeist on the loose, and Seeker of Ghosts has come to tame it. First, the poltergeist demands that you wash your hands. In fact, he's pretty adamant about it. He then takes another tack. And later shuts the investigator in. Bored, he switches the TV on. Then this happens.
Какого хрена?
After that, it's no holds barred.
Просто шипсипай.
Later, as the investigator talks to the camera, the poltergeist becomes the director.
Я пока в таких догадках, что
I don't know about you, but I don't think the taming is working yet. Okay, here's a weird one. The closet door in this bedroom keeps opening by itself, but before I even get into that, look what happens with the lamp. Somehow the bulb becomes extremely bright and goes back to normal despite lacking a dimmer switch. After that, the closet door swings open seemingly all by itself. Tell me if you see any signs of human interference here, because I see none whatsoever.
There it goes. And as you can see, there's nothing there.
I thought they were using a hook or something on the bottom right to pull the door open, but when I watched again I saw it was just a power strip running to the lamp. If anything, the door actually moves the strip out of the way, not the other way around. The closet looks too full to hold another item, but who knows what else was in there staring at them from the other side. Build it and they will come, but maybe you don't really want them to come after all. Published by Grant Kopech in October of 2020, something creepy calls this cornfield home. Captured on a Ring camera, a homeowner is seen walking outside at night on the farm, but appears not to notice the enormous creature escaping from the cornfield. In the background, as the man walks past, the large blurred figure moves from the cornfield toward a big garage to the left. It disappears behind some shadow in the background. Many in the comments think this is a ghost or an extraterrestrial, while others think it's simply a reflection from the man's jacket, although it very well could be the latter. YouTuber Master of None offers some great advice for the farmer. Don't sleep ever again. If I lived beside that cornfield, I'd have to say I'd be doing the same thing. Is this ER haunted by the dearly departed? TikToker Lucy Trevelyan thinks so. They've posted this security camera footage as proof. Watch the curtain in the background.
He's laying on the stuffed thing all over your hardly, but that's the amount confident. What the?
It blows around, moving as though someone touched it. According to the TikToker, this happened at around 5 in the morning. Nobody was there, and there are no air vents near the curtain.
When he's laying on the stuffed thing all over your hardly, the language, but that's the amount thing, and there's no.
Judging by everyone's reaction, this is an anomaly. If we are to trust the TikToker that no air vents might have caused this, I think it's safe to say that the spirits did. After all, hospitals are regular havens of lost souls. Jal Bundy has caught some weird things on camera while exploring the forest outside of his village late at night. In front of them is the white outline of a phantom apparition that for some reason stands out against a backdrop of total darkness. When they rush towards the apparition, you can see it shrinks into a small ball of paranormal energy and disappears around the tree. Is this strange ball of light edited, or really paranormal is what I want to know. I feel like this video could be real because it's late at night. They sound scared and those woods look scary too. Freaky, right? Many paranormal investigators have spent the night at the Stanley Hotel for obvious reasons. YouTuber Franco TV is one of them. Very soon into his stay, the spirits are speaking.
I just heard something.
I can't.
They tell Franco what they need from him.
Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Seance.
Seance.
In another room, Franco hears something.
I got the doors moving. Hello? Someone's in here.
When he approaches the door, it moves.
This door literally just moved. The thing is, I have a night vision camera right on the other side watching.
What is happening?
You tell me.
Another loud sound is heard on a still camera, though we can't see where it's coming from. He discovers who is at the Stanley with him.
What is here with me? Or who is here with me? Sound like it said the captain.
Flashing back to an old video, Franco is convinced he knows exactly who he's speaking to.
That is the gentleman that haunts this floor. Mr. Dunraven. You look right here, it says that he was right there.
And the Capitan doesn't seem to want him around.
I'm gonna go ahead and turn off the candle. I just had a door closed on me.
Obviously, the Stanley Hotel's reputation holds up. After seeing this video, I want to know more about the Capitan and his unfinished business. This haunted house isn't anything less than terrifying. The Ouija brothers head inside to discover what lurks within. As they first enter, they hear a door bang.
Locked. So let's go and have a look. Did you hear that?
I did hear like a boom.
Like a bang of a door or something?
They continue on and stop short again when they hear voices.
I think we should go in the dark. Literally, I heard voices.
In another hallway, they hear a woman's voice.
Say.
Yeah.
That's like a woman's voice.
With the spirit box on, some confused expressions resound.
Am I dead?
Jesus.
Your phone is the one.
Abused.
And while they're communicating with the spirit, they hear an unexplained thud.
What's that?
It's okay.
Then later, this low murmur is heard.
Chase.
What?
Chase.
What?
To me, that was the creepiest bit of evidence in this whole investigation. I'm convinced, with that murmur and the messages through the spirit box, that something horrible transpired in this place. Chris Hopkins goes exploring a haunted mental asylum close to 3 a.m. called Forest Haven. As the name implies, they have to cut through a forest on foot to get there, and that's when their troubles begin.
That was somebody.
We're walking down the trail. We just heard someone right over there.
Chris turns on his flashlight and soon sees a mysterious light in return. They play flashlight tag for a while until they discover a group of other people who, while friendly, claim to be ghost hunters on a quote-unquote another mission.
Yo, we just met up with these guys.
Hey.
Yo, these were some of the guys we were in here.
Actual ghost hunter, but we on another mission right now.
They don't think much of the comment and join together to go exploring the abandoned mental hospital. As they get to talking, the strangers kneel down and show what their special mission really is: to take copper from wires and sell it for money. That's when it occurs to them that they are around some shady people in an abandoned building who have sharp instruments and are looking for valuable equipment, like their expensive cameras. Thinking fast, Chris walks back to get his friends.
Dude, come out here and listen to all these birds. Listen to all these birds.
They don't say a word and awkwardly walk away, which is the right choice. Who knows what would have happened to them if they stayed around? This creepy farmhouse will have you swearing off abandoned buildings for life. Published by .do's Urban Exploration in April of 2013, the uploader admits to being skeptical to the paranormal, but this incident made him consider opening up to the possibility. Da writes that the house sits about a half a kilometer from a road in Bobcage, Ontario. The house is isolated with just a barn and an outcrop of other buildings. It appears from a distance to be tightly boarded up, but a back door was wide open. He writes, now it is very possible all the environmental conditions were perfect for this experience. However, Wingman Jan happened to be with me on this explore, and we are in agreement. There was something more to this. He says the video doesn't really do the reality justice. The sounds were much more magnified, which he describes as like freight trains. He writes, there was the sound of someone else walking. There was the sound of something heavy being dragged across the floor, and when exiting, it was like being followed out to the threshold of Inside and Out. Without further ado, let's take a look at the Cryptic video. Even the approach to the house's exterior is a bit unnerving. The back door is under an overhanging, which our friends sneak beneath to catch a glimpse of a bunch of knickknacks and garbage littering the ground, including an old sewing machine. The back door is wide open, it's dark inside. They climb the steps to the kitchen area, also disheveled and covered with odds and ends. Once inside, they're stepping over the trash and other items on the floor, while scanning the rooms with a flashlight. They enter the living room. Something on a door across the room flies up. It appears to be blown by a breeze. The door then opens and slams shut, while our brave Da backs away. Instead of racing out of there, they get closer. The door keeps creaking open and slamming shut again. He finally enters the empty hallway. No one is there. He shines the flashlight upstairs, and just when you think he's going to explore that second level, he hurries the heck out of that house. Probably a smart idea. The house alone is unsettling. I can't imagine what being there in person must have felt like. Although Dad knows some might call him a coward for being afraid, he insists that you had to be there to know what it truly felt like. On the contrary, most people believe in the comments of this video that Dad was brave to stay in this obviously haunted house as long as he did. I'm one of them. Australian YouTuber Sam Marsh is exploring far north Queensland when something odd crawls out of the forest to better observe him. Down the dirt road stands a tall creature roughly the same height as Sam. 53 seconds is when you can see a prominent head jutting forth as the creature inches back into the forest from whence it came. Sam walks to where it was and finds a well-worn path leading deeper into the dark forest. Looking back at him is the carefully concealed figure with a long neck and a white head. At 1 minute and 48 seconds it turns back to look at him. What is it? Basements are inherently creepy, but this basement's resident shadow person will make your skin crawl. A shadow person was caught on camera in a Pennsylvania basement on December 15th, 2016. The YouTuber writes, "For the last few months there have been weird bangs and noises in our basement. Sounds like someone is walking up and down our steps." He goes on to say that his wife thought it was their cats at first, since their litter box is in the basement, but on the night in question, their cats were upstairs in their daughter's room, and their dog was in his cage in the kitchen, whining about the basement noise. He brought a camera to prove to his wife that the cats weren't making this noise, which had started out of nowhere a few months prior. "This thing I caught on camera, I am at a loss over," he writes. "Now I am terrified in this house." As he heads down the stairs to the basement, a shadow person peers around the corner, frightening the man.
I know I heard you. Holy, oh my, dude.
He runs down the stairs at it, trying to catch it on camera up close, but it disappears around the corner and isn't caught again. YouTuber Wyoming Oregon points out, if you pay attention to when he first turns the cam, around right before he cuts on the lights, it was standing there on the stairwell then ran down the stairs. Most confirm Wyoming's take, with many agreeing it was extremely creepy. Others say they've seen these shadow people in real life before. The uploader notes that they've decided to move after watching this video, as they don't want to raise their daughter in a haunted house. After seeing this, can you blame them? Would you have the courage to enter a home in which a horrific event took place? That's how the police described this poor lady's passing. Published in January of 2022. The Ouija brothers head inside one of England's most haunted abandoned homes, in which a woman is said to have had her life taken using a device to speak with the spirit. The guys ask what her name is. Her answer gives me chills.
Could you tell us your name?
Blood.
Blood? Blood? Blood then. Bit of a funny name, isn't it? Remember, I like that lady. Yes, blood.
Then, as a cameraman is backing out of a room, they capture a strange hissing noise.
Oh, I ain't going in there, man, because they'll make me ill for days.
Later, they're in another room when out the door, they see a light, it starts getting brighter, and then they hear something clatter.
Look, mate, can you see it getting brighter?
It is.
Hold on. Okay, mate, hold on.
Is this the ghost of the woman whose life was taken in this home? Or, as Sue suggests in the comments, did the events of this poor lady's life imprint on the house? Can you feel the evil in this house of satanic worship? YouTuber Chris Luna can. She and Laura Rivas enter to see what evil it holds. While touring the place, they find a bottle of black magic liquid inside.
Mira los espíritus. ¿Oíste? Sí.
As they continue, something appears to confront Chriselle.
¡Ay! ¡Flor! No, está empresario. Cuidado, ¿sí lo puedo agarrar? Sí.
Laura sprays what I assume is an antidote on her, and they continue on. In another room, they spot a portal drawn on the wall and hear laughter.
Las risas, las risas. ¡Cállate! Se están riendo de afuera. Se empezó a mover. Se están riendo de nosotros, Laura. Ve cómo se está moviendo.
Later, they again hear laughter.
Ay, Dios mío. ¿Te vas a reír de mí por lo que voy a hacer?
Noting that all the windows are closed, they find a lifeless bird on the floor.
Están las ventanas cerradas, en verdad. Vean cómo está todo cerrado. ¿Cómo llegó aquí? ¿Cómo llegó aquí? La maldad que hay en este.
Is this a remnant of a satanic ritual performed here? I think it is, and if that's the case, they should get out pronto. This offering looks fresh. Shared by YouTuber Random Videos 5, a supposed witch was captured on camera approaching the security guard in the street late at night. Let's see it unfold.
Before you walk nuestro Señor, ante el nombre de la gracia del Espíritu Santo, del Señor Santa María Virgen, para el Señor.
As he nears the wailing sound, he starts reciting a prayer, and then he sees her.
Quitando la chaqueta, el recinto de las muertes, y la izquierda que está sentado a la derecha de Dios Padre Todopoderoso. Quítame la chaqueta, que es el hermano de la enfermedad, persiguieron los historias de la muerte, y que nos vienen,
The witch comes toward him, wailing. To me, she appears to walk very stiffly and has an uncanny narrow form. The security guard backs away as she continues to bellow. I think this is a real witch. I've never seen or heard anything like it before. And what I really want to know is if she is cursing him. And are we cursed too by proxy? We better say sorry to this witch before we're cursed next. This security guard only signed up to guard against humans, not ghosts. Redditor XHBTDX shares this freaky security footage that shows a guard having a full-blown conversation with someone who isn't there.
Yes, sir. Who are you talking to?
I'm talking to a early lady. I saw her walking by this door and she said she's looking for the agreement. Thank you. Abigail.
Is the guard seeing things? There is no old lady named Abigail here. This is the dispatcher's response.
The camera is closed. That she should talk tomorrow morning, and she might see what the agreement.
Are you sure you're saying Miss Abigail? Like, she's been passed on for 2 years now.
When the security guard realizes there's no one there, he jets off.
Miss Abigail is... She died 2 years ago.
You mean you can't see the person I'm talking to?
No, there's nobody in front of you. At all.
Many in the comments think this is fake because of the dispatcher's odd lack of surprise or urgency. I tend to agree, but if it is, the security guard here deserves an Oscar. You can see a lot more from a bird's eye view, but that doesn't make things any clearer. YouTuber Stromedy captured something truly disturbing from his drone in the middle of the night. Watch and see if you can make sense of it.
Whoa! What? Dude, that's a runner, dude! That's a runner! Look! Now he just got up and started running! Follow him. Yeah, they're both running! Okay, guys, calm. Stay calm.
People are running amok, knocking others over. What is happening here? I can't make heads or tails from this, and at ground level, it gets even stranger.
I'm landing it. Wait, yo! Listen, right there!
What is this guy after? I'd like to think this was some sort of game this group plays at night, but I have no idea what that game could be. Can anyone make sense of this? If something falls from above, the universe may be trying to tell you something. Published to YouTube in June of 2020 by MD Vines Official. This will leave you shaking. Out in the jungle at night, a group is discussing something while standing outside of this obscure structure. The moon is full above. They start to see a small point of light blinking in the darkness. They follow it as it moves. Then all of a sudden something heavy like a brick falls from above. The group starts running like mad. What just tried to take their lives? Whatever it is, the creature is vengeful. They better watch their step. A YouTuber named Renee Chase slowly comes to the realization that her house is haunted as she watches a possessed lamp caught on tape in real time.
This lamp about a month or so ago decided that it was going to do its own thing, as you can see.
What's weird is how the lamp seems to contradict her statements whenever it can.
I don't know, it's slowing down now that I'm videoing. But, oh, no, it's not.
Someone in the comments points out that a touch lamp with a loose connection could be to blame. She hasn't responded in over 4 years, though I think that if this is a touch lamp, then it stands to reason that a ghost could be tapping it. According to Renee, the light especially seems to go off if she is having an argument or any other emotionally charged conversation, so maybe this unexplained event really is paranormal. Some people like their onion rings extra crispy, but not when the added crunch is because of this.
I got some nice roaches in my onion rings here.
They are so small that they kind of almost blend in until you see the tiny shriveled up legs. But I mean, if you were eating this meal straight out of the bag and concentrating on the road, you might not even notice them at all. Again, this is one of those videos that I regret coming across because I realized how easily it could have happened to anyone watching. As awful as it sounds, I doubt this customer was the only person who got served a big batch of fried bugs that day. This ghost-filled house is home to some really freaky phantoms. YouTuber Dennis from Dark Life faces off with them in this scary video. As Dennis explores a back room, this happens on the Steadicam in the kitchen. Dennis is explaining where he sets up the cameras when paranormal activity unfolds.
Сейчас чуть попозже еще посмотрю.
After this earthquake-like presence, Dennis does an EGF session and the spirits are pleading.
Don't let you know.
Кто вы?
They then send him this ominous warning.
Я сажу твое сердце.
Dennis still dares to enter the basement after his remote control car gets stuck. He descends to retrieve it. That's when he hears this. Getting hold of the car, he starts to head up when he spots what appears to be a bone. Is it human? After crawling back out of there, Dennis attempts to replace the floorboards. That's when this happens. When he ducks back under, he hears the rasping sound again. If you were waiting for a jump scare to pop out of that hole, don't worry, it doesn't. Whatever is down there remains, and in my opinion, its never-ending presence there is way scarier than a jump scare. In the midst of the desert, this hole is hiding something. TikToker Sicaria Al 98 shares this mysterious video.
سبحان الله.
Happening upon a deep dark pit in the middle of the desert is a mystery in and of itself, but the sounds coming from its depths take this mystery to the next level. It sounds to me like shrieking cats, but others suggest these are the chilling wails of those who have passed on. Is this a portal to the fiery depths below? If so, seal that thing back up ASAP. A paranormal explorer named Yash Sadiq brings us a ghost sighting all the way from Tamil Nadu, a large state in South India. This abandoned house has sat rotting for years until their investigation reveals the presence of something lurking within.
Hey, what is it?
A dark and mysterious figure watches them from the other side of a wall and then retreats. It looks like a real ghost sighting at first, but look again and you'll see a small edit here at 2 minutes and 33 seconds.
Hey!
It could be a camera glitch from Paranormal Energy. However, I think the real reason for this edit is because they didn't like the way it looked the first time and decided to record the scene again. Ghosts appear in the unlikeliest of places. Published to YouTube in February of 2012, Mad Mupp writes, "This is actual unedited security camera footage recorded by myself using my phone. The gate captured in the security footage is locked with a padlock. According to Mad Mupp, the padlock was firmly locked 5 minutes earlier, and someone working in the warehouse had gone to the keys, and then this happened. The CCTV footage shows the gate being pushed roughly, then you can see the padlock unlocking and twisting open on its own, allowing the gates to swing wide. There's absolutely no one around. Is this the work of a warehouse ghost who just doesn't want to punch out, or is it something not paranormal altogether? But it seems like it just can't be explained to me." A YouTuber named Shondurez decides to go ghost investigating with his friends at their studio office, which is apparently haunted. They meet up at 2 a.m. and are talking about what they should do next, when something in the next room over wrecks their plans.
What actually was that?
Approximately 10 seconds later, this sound fills the building. Listen to it and tell me if you think it's real or edited.
Wait, shh. Legit.
By now, they are pretty much freaking out and ready to take off, but the spirit isn't quite through with them yet. You'll see absolutely nobody was nearby when this happens, which makes me think it could be real. All of the lights shut off before they get a chance to leave. One of them turns the camera light on just in time to see their friend blankly staring at them from the ground. I guess he could just be acting, and one of his friends pulled him by his feet, but that still doesn't explain this actual ghost sighting at the very end.
Scope!
Dude. Let me see if you're one fall.
I think this could be real because the raw adrenaline sends his friend barreling straight through a door. Mr. Hammer is a fearless ghost hunter from Saudi Arabia who is always charging forward no matter how scary things get while exploring haunted abandoned places. He's exploring abandoned houses like usual when he begins to feel like he's being followed. Something's different about this urban exploration. He's not unsure if it's a paranormal encounter he's having or if a stranger is messing with him. Let's try to make sense of the scary stuff and creepy things happening in this bizarre video. The mysterious figure is what has been following him since he was first outside of the abandoned building. Ironically, a ghost sighting is what Mr. Hammer's after, but a ghost sighting is what he misses in real life. Somehow he does not see a creepy man looking at him from the doorway. Oh well, at least he caught it on tape for our analysis. I think this is more likely a friend of his pretending to make paranormal things happen instead of a real ghost sighting caught on camera. Almost anyone would have seen that mysterious figure in the doorway, especially if they were already on high alert. An investigator from the Liberty Independent Ghost Hunters of Texas is exploring the haunted old Lavaca jail when they capture some scary stuff happening right in front of their camera.
What the? Are you for real?
A paranormal mist fills the room, and it's not his breath because it comes from off to the side, not in front of him. Also, at 48 seconds, the colors dim and the camera blurs as if trying to focus on a ghostly presence. The Texas ghost hunter is freaked out and doesn't stick around to see what comes after the paranormal mist and ghost orbs. I've seen a lot of paranormal investigations before, and something about this one looks real. I think he was really scared and had a genuine paranormal experience. It's past midnight at a police station in Pahang, Malaysia. A quiet crew plays chess to help pass the time, completely unaware of something that stays 2 moves ahead. The faint outline of a figure leaves them fearfully singing for protection and clambering over each other to stay far away. A different police video taken 10 years later shows more scary things that are just beyond creepy. In the darkness looms a mysterious figure, not wearing a reflective vest like everyone else, that also does not reveal any detail whatsoever, even when directly under the high-powered beam of a police flashlight. Not to mention those crying noises coming from the woods. It could be speakers, but I really doubt the police would be wasting time faking paranormal videos, so either this is a joke being played on them, or else these scary ghost videos are actually real. I want to get the opinions of people from Malaysia, where this video was made, to help me decide if these creepy videos are real, or part of a viral trend, or what. Either way, you know the paranormal activity is bad, when even the police are too afraid to do something about it. Not that there's much they can do. A team of paranormal experts head to the abandoned county jail in Gonzales, Texas to prove it is really haunted. After exploring for a while, all of them agree that they are feeling an intense anger for no real reason. Finally, one of them decides to confront whatever is responsible for causing their heightened emotional state.
We've been feeling a lot of anger. And I want to know why.
The question is met with even greater anger in return.
You alright?
According to them, an invisible hand slides around his throat and tightly squeezes. The retching noises he makes afterwards seems very real. He runs out of the building and his eyes appear red and watery immediately afterwards.
I feel the pressure right now on my neck.
Look at your... Man, you gotta see your eyes. I'm gonna flip the screen so you can see your eyes, man. Look at your eyes.
Unless he is somehow able to give himself fully red eyes on command, all of this evidence makes me believe that this ghost incident could have been real.